Hey, most of the time, what most people tell you about money is wrong. I grew up with a lot of misconceptions about money, and I've learned a lot about money over the last few years. If you really think about it, a lot of people don't know much about money. They just know that they want more of it. It's actually nuts because our friends and family try to give us the right advice about money, but really, most people don't know, even our friends and family. And if you really want to get advice from someone, you have to look at people who have already done it, who have already made it, or who have already been successful with money. Because if they haven't been, then don't listen to them. Otherwise, you're going to follow in the same path they have. So if you don't know me or my story, I used to be over $150,000 in debt because of some bad investments and bad business decisions. And since then, I've come a long way. So in the last 7 months, I've actually been able to make $1 million in my business. And plus, I've made over $2.8 million trading crypto, which is incredible. Actually, I had the biggest trade of my life in 2017, which was just insane. But obviously the market was going up and up and up and up. But since then, I've also been able to do something different, which is make money on leverage, trading cryptocurrency on leverage. And that's been super incredible as well. And we have a great group of people that could attest for it. You could look at my Instagram, Loving Not Working, where I share daily in my stories. And I'm taking you on a journey to another $1 million in my stories. And I think that that's so cool because the proof is in the pudding. You could literally look at the market that day and you could look at my trade and you could see like, yeah, that's the price it is now and that's the trade. So everything is very, very real. I know that it's sometimes hard to believe for many people. I've definitely had some friends call me and they're like, did you really do that? Are you lying? And well, I'll put some screenshots up on the screen, and if you want to follow my daily progress, then go into my stories and you can see it there. So I think I know a thing or two about money and making money. And not just that, I used to work for huge companies, National Australia Bank, Mercedes, a whole bunch of other companies as well. And I think that, yeah, if they're hiring someone like me to do their business and marketing, then I'm pretty sure that I could show you how to do it, especially because I'm assuming you're not a multi-million dollar company. Like, obviously it's easier for people to make like a lot of money when they already have money, but it's not necessary. You could actually make it from nothing and just grow it slowly, and eventually it becomes exponential. Like especially after you have $1 million in savings, it just exponentially grows. So I'm going to take you on that journey. I think that in the next 10 years, there's going to be way more millionaires than there ever was before. And I think it's going to be a lot easier to attain it now, especially thanks to social media, thanks to crypto. There's so many ways to make it. And yes, I do know that a lot of people say like, oh, the average millionaire has 7 sources of income, but you actually don't need that. You could make 7 figures just by trading crypto. It's insane right now, the way the world works. There are a lot of gurus out there who they're very much into like saving and don't spend your money on this or that or pay off your mortgage and this and that. But I think, first of all, like if you want to get a mortgage or not get a mortgage, some people say it's a scam. Some people say that's the way to make money. Personally, I think that there are strategies to do that, certain strategies that you could go and make money with it. I've made money with it, but I also think that there are easier and better ways to do it, especially because you need such a huge deposit to put down on your house. I think a better way to do it is either to start a business and invest in your own business, or trade cryptocurrency. I think those 2 ways are way easier. I think that real estate is like the long way to do it, and it takes a long time, and you have to save up for a few years to get that initial deposit, unless your parents are rich or could help you out or something like that, and then it won't take you as long. And there are ways that you could live for free in your house. You could live for free if you rent out the other rooms, or if you could somehow split your house in a certain way where you could close off a section of your house. Maybe you put some drywall and a door, and then have a separate entrance even from the back or the front, and then you could have like your section and rent out the rest of the house like on Airbnb or something like that. That's another way that you could actually live for free. So that's definitely a way to do it, and I think that's a good way to do it. I definitely had roommates most of my adult life, and it was some of the best times that I've ever had in my life, because you have instant friends pretty much in your house all the time. Another thing is credit cards. So credit cards is a pretty touchy matter because some people have shopping addictions. If you have a shopping addiction, stop that right now. The best way to buy the things that you want to buy is save up, invest that money, and buy things only with the interest of that money. That way you'll have money forever. Okay? You'll have money forever, because if you work and then buy things, then you're always like making the money, spending the money, making the money, spending the money. Whereas if you work and then invest that money and then only spend the interest of the money, your nest egg will keep growing and growing and growing and growing. Okay, so you don't spend it, you only spend the interest of that money, and you keep on making money to grow your nest egg, and then you just live off that. And that's what gives you freedom of time eventually. Like at the beginning, it might be slow, but eventually it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, and I'm not going to tell you where to spend your money or where not to spend your money, because that's up to you. It's your life, obviously. But I do know a thing or two about investing your money into things and living off the interest. So I think if you're going to spend money on things that make you money. That's how rich people get rich. And poor people stay poor because as soon as they make a bit of money, they want to act rich, like buy the car or buy the flashy apartment. I literally know poor people that live better than I lived and have nicer apartments, but they have no money, they have no nest egg, they have no freedom because they constantly have to work all the time. And I don't think that's a way to live for the future. Personally, I love traveling, so I like having money there, but I also don't spend the money I make. I invest the money I make, and then I spend on the interest of that money. If you think about how much money you're spending in all these different areas, there's probably part of those areas you don't actually care about, but you're just like spending money there anyway. And I think to make yourself more happy, I think you could write down all the things that you actually like doing and like spending money on, and figuring out how you could make more money. So you don't always have to cut back on things. Maybe at the beginning you might want to cut back on some things, but eventually you want to focus on building wealth. You don't want to focus so much on debt. You want to focus on building wealth. So if you're somebody that likes to spend money on credit cards, look at what you're spending money on, because you're digging yourself a huge hole. You're literally going into a hole by spending on your credit cards, like buying, say, like makeup and clothes, which are not going to get you really anywhere in life, honestly. If I'm like really honest, you're spending a lot of money on things that you don't need. You could probably minimalize that and just get the minimum and just get the one thing that you like. You could get something expensive, but just get one or two things that you actually like, and you don't have to spend tons of money on all of that, because that's also an addiction. Whereas if you focused on what could I do right now to build wealth, there are certain businesses that work better than other businesses, and there are certain investments that work better than other investments. So I think if you focus on building wealth, then eventually you could buy whatever you want. But if you're still in that trap of society, like I spent a lot of time in Thailand. I went to Thailand for years now, and every time I come back to Canada, I feel like it's like society, the mall, spend, keeping up with the Joneses. It's like a different society. Whereas when I'm in Thailand, like I don't wear makeup. I literally wear like almost the same thing, like different day, different bikini, different sarong maybe. But it's like a different life and a different society, because people don't care about the same things. Like nobody's over there buying cars. Everyone's like driving motorbikes. And it's just like, for me, it's a nicer environment that I think. Like, obviously, yes, I do love being around my friends and family, and I do love drinking clean water, and I do love all the things about Canada, but I just love going there for so many different reasons, even spiritual reasons, and getting really healthy over there and having access to like all this amazing food. There's so many things, and that's like what I like spending my money on. But let's say right now you have some credit card debt. I really want to advise you to focus on wealth. So if you have to get 2 or 3 jobs and live in your car, I don't care what you need to do, but there's certain things that you could do, like get more jobs and then focus on wealth, create a business. There's so many ways to get out of debt now, and it's not just working jobs. It's literally creating a business, investing in crypto, doing all those things will actually push you to the limit and get you on the next level. If you have 2 credit cards, let's say you have 2, and one of them has 19% on it, and then another one has a smaller balance with like 5% on it, psychologically we think, oh, I'm going to pay off the one with the smaller balance with the smaller percentage, but actually pay the one with the higher percentage first, because it's basic math. Okay, and you don't have to know math, you could just listen to me. I'm telling you, pay off the highest interest first. And really, the truth is, once you become richer and richer, when you start living a more minimalistic life, when you start realizing, I don't need 50,000 foundations, I just need one. I don't need 50,000 hoodies, I just need maybe like 2. You don't need all that stuff. And the more that you stop right now, you don't have to get rid of all your stuff, but stop buying stuff unless you're buying it with the interest, and focus on wealth creation. It's a mindset shift. And it happens in a second. In a second, you could change your mindset and start earning money, making money, and not really spending your money. You really have to spend it on things that make you money instead of just spending it on things and then being broke again the next week. Most people live paycheck to paycheck. Most people don't do that. And that's the thing. You need a second income. You can't just get rich off one income. You need a second income. And then you're not just getting rich with money, you're getting rich with your time, you're getting rich with your freedom. And then with freedom, you can get rich with relationships, because all of a sudden you have more time to spend with your friends, and you have more time to spend with, a partner. And I think that brings you a lot of happiness in life when you're with the right partner. For me, I actually retired like twice. I spent a whole year traveling without doing anything, and I loved it, but by the end of it I was getting a bit antsy. Like, I wanted to do something with my mind. I wanted to program again, I wanted to build websites again, and I wanted to do things. So I think for you, maybe you think like, oh, I'll just live on the beach and when I'm rich I'll just do that, but actually that's not true. You actually get more fulfillment by doing something that you actually love, and you might not know what that is yet, but you might figure that out later on. And doing that and contributing and adding value to the world will actually not only make an impact on the world and the people that you teach, but also yourself. You're going to learn a lot more things about yourself. All right, so I'll end this video here. And if you liked it and you like content like this, then please subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you later. Bye.